Good evening, folks. Ken Hovind here, and Matt Powell and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. Sorry we did not make it into the new studio. We couldn't get the internet working in there. Came so close. The pews are all set. The floor's all done. Chris, you guys work like maniacs over there. Can't get the internet going. You work on that tomorrow. Okay? Get us going. Anyway.
Well, there we go. Good old
There's
Ken.
an echo.
Yeah, no, that's because I had things.
Oh, okay.
That was a me thing. How are we all? Welcome to Kent Hovind Appreciation Night.
It is way too early for some Kent Hovind.
Oh, it's always it's 11
I
o'clock.
appreciate Ken Hovind. He's always worth a laugh or two.
Yeah, it's either too early or too late. It just didn't hit right. It just doesn't. It's just. But when is it a good time for Kent Hovind?
Never.
Well,
it's never a good time.
This is Kent Hovind Appreciation Day, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to officially announce this in honor of Kent Hovind. He has a Whackin' Atheist Wednesday.
Yeah, he does.
This week, Thursday, on my channel, I'm going to have Thumpatheist Thursday.
I love that name. Oh,
Thumpatheist.
That's perfect. Thumpatheist.
Oh,
you
need a little animation of a boxing glove right into the face of the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's great, Ed. That's great.
We will all be tuning in for Thumpatheist Thursday.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Oh, damn! Don't you hate it when you hear something and go, "I wish I had a thought of that," because that's genius, man.
Yep.
I love it.
That is genius.
It is. It's like we are not worth that. See, that's why you're God and we're not.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Don't give him too much praise. His head's big
I'm
enough
wearing my
as it
best
is.
Kent Hovind themed shirt today.
You're looking very scary,
Looking
Chris.
mighty
That's what
dapper
all
there.
Hovind do.
Yeah, in your Hovind. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Lennox, Alabama. But look, I do have a bit of fun. I found we've got a couple of videos. We've got an advert for come see Dinosaur Adventureland today. We've got that. Kent is going to he's going to debunk the geological column for us. So Jen,
God.
Wow.
you're on for that one. And I don't want to spoil anything, but in the video where he does this debunking, he is wearing double denim.
Double denim.
denim.
He's double denim.
That's a crime.
Is he wearing Daisy Dukes over the top of a normal pair of cut-off jeans or something?
Oh, you wish. You wish.
No.
I don't. I really don't.
No, just like
Kent Hovind and Daisy Dukes. Now that's
oh God!
Can you sort that out for us?
Let's just
No, please don't, Davros. That does not need to hit the world. No.
The old Jessica Simpson. These boots are made for walking with Kent Hovind's head.
Now that I've said it, all I can see is that scene from Porky's, and when the girl lifts up her head, instead of the face in Porky's, you get Ken Hovind's face on it.
That's never going to be good. That's never going to be good.
No,
So
but
anyway,
I've probably
we're
given
gonna
him
be-
ideas now.
We're going to be quiet for a second because
For everybody in the chat, this is my beautiful and amazing daughter, Samantha.
Hello.
Hey,
welcome to
Sam.
Six Pack. Welcome to Friday Night Six Pack.
So actually, I need to change this.
Oh, Ed's doing technical stuff. This could take all night.
I have to ask you a question.
It'll take a
Samantha.
minute.
Are you a big coffee drinker too?
Yeah, do you like coffee?
Coffee?
They're asking you, do you like coffee?
Yes, I like iced coffee.
She's a
She
heathen.
doesn't. She says it correctly too, unlike her dad.
Yeah, so how come you say coffee?
Because I'm more of a dago than she is.
I was raised
We-
Southern. I'm sorry.
It's all
No,
right.
you
That's
say
all
it
right.
correctly. It's him.
No, it's yeah, you're he's the one with the
You're
speech
fine.
impediment as far as we're concerned. It's just it's Raven has said she says it right. So but although mind you, I have now got to the point where every day I ask for a coffee, and if I happen to be out with Liz and say,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go get myself a coffee, she'll turn around and go, "You mean coffee?" I'm like, "Yes, I mean coffee." Sorry.
Coffee.
So we're changing the way that Australians say coffee.
Well, that's the way you say it.
We'll get you there, Jen. We'll get you there. You'll be talking
won't.
about coffee.
I like
before
my
you know
coffee.
I'm with you, Jen.
it. So the Aussies are outnumbered tonight. We've got more Americans. So Matt, Matt's got another engagement.
Matt, it's
this
all your
evening.
fault.
So Matt, he should be lurking. Jade isn't around, or she's not here tonight. Hopefully she'll be back in a week or two. But Jade, thinking of you, mate. But yeah, so this is just going to be a fun
A
one.
small six pack again.
Just a small
Yeah.
six-pack.
I'm not sorry.
Now,
Yeah, now
Jade,
Sam's not used to being, on YouTube or anything like that. So
I do TikToks. That's it.
yeah.
look, this is like one of the most watched YouTube programs going.
Yeah. We've got 15 viewers at the moment. It'll go up to probably 22 to 24.
Yeah,
This is the shape, man. This is where it is. Yeah.
all right. We've got a £2 super chat from the Godless Scummer. How does Samantha feel about Ed and Shmee? Have you heard about your future?
Oh God, he's
Sam-
going
Sam
right
doesn't-
there.
Sam doesn't know about Dork Dawkins and Shmee yet. I'll have to.
Yeah.
I'll have to educate her. This cup here. This is Darth Dawkins.
He looks like a scary guy.
Yeah, Darth Dawkins
No,
is.
hang on. He could be your brother-in-law soon.
Yeah, I was going to say, you better give it a crash wash. You might want to be in the wedding. I mean,
No,
Yeah.
Dark
Actually,
Dawkins
you
is a
give him away.
scumbag. Dark Dawkins doesn't like people who aren't devoutly Christian, and if you're LGBTQ plus, well, to him, you're infested with a demon or something like that.
He won't even
No,
talk to anyone who's LGBT.
I don't know. I guess I'll throw it out to the chat. But how would we describe Darth Dawkins for? Let's describe Darth Dawkins, I guess, for someone who's never encountered him. So it's that's actually a good point here from yes, Raven's stepbrother, of course. That is correct. The Krabby Hermit says sometimes you seriously do not need to introduce people to Darth seriously.
Seriously.
Never should anyone be introduced to Darth. But no, Darth
just a
is,
reminder,
he's a scumbag.
If you buy any merchandise for Darth Dawkins Reads the Bible, Hereticals will make a donation to the Trevor Foundation,
Which is a
support.
really, really good foundation. Jen, tell us about the Trevor Foundation.
Oh, the Trevor Foundation is a charity in the US that does a lot of work for LGBTQ plus youth, helping with housing, getting out of difficult situations, and just generally offering support, counseling, and everything like that. And it's one of those charity organizations in the US that Darth Dawkins hates. So
absolutely,
the more money we can give to them, the better.
Yeah. And anything you buy from that is from the Darth Dawkins Reads the Bible range, 100% of the profits go to the Trevor Foundation. We don't keep a dollar. We don't want to make a single dollar off Darth Dawkins. We will give it all to a place that we just know he'll hate it going to. So, if you get the chance, grab a mug. It's it's a perfect Christmas present. Darth Dawkins head on a T-shirt. I mean,
Oh God.
it's the gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Gee, we're covering all the douchebags tonight. So we have had some descriptions of
Claire's
asshole.
Claire's accurate though.
Entitled, opinionated asshole.
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, so that's our Darth. But anyway,
Can we just abbreviate that to he's an EOA?
Yeah,
an EOA. Yes,
EOA.
Darth is the EOA.
Is the EOA?
But
EOA.
what I guess
Go away, EOA.
Darth does have
Who
a
are
mother.
you, EOA?
Darth does have a mother, Shmee. And Shmee's lovely. We've had Shmee on the channel a few times. But
She
Shmee's
is
kind of got
lovely.
a little bit of an infatuation with Ed.
She wants you, Ed. She wants you.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like Shmee. It's. I think it's truly love. But she wants Ed to be Darth's daddy.
Never gonna happen.
Hey, look, and you've helped lots of people out of bigoted backgrounds. Maybe you could help Darth.
Yeah.
I think it's what's needed to balance his presence in the world. Like you need to do this, Ed, to say to just balance it out so that we could all tolerate the existence of a Darth Dawkins. Yeah. It might be your calling. This might be what you're meant to do.
See,
you chased my daughter away.
No.
Sorry.
No, Shmee did that.
All right, I'll be down in a while.
Oh, the fun and joy of it all. The fun and joy of it all. Oh, it's frozen.
It's frozen.
There we go.
He was thinking of Shmee.
As far as that whole thing goes, Shmee needs to crawl back into whatever crypt she got out of.
Shmee's
Hey, she's
There's
lovely.
only one crypt that Shmee wants to crawl into, mate. Let me tell you.
Yeah, this is obvious. This is obvious.
As far as Darth goes, Darth better hope we never meet in public. I'll need bail.
Oh no! We want you to meet Darth in public.
At the wedding, you're going to have to.
Why do you got to make me sick first thing in the morning?
It's their fault. They wouldn't let me finish my coffee, Ed. I'm sorry. It's all Chris's fault.
This is supposed to be focused on Kent Hovind.
I do have to tell you, Ed, is a little bit of exciting news for the wedding. Darth has a date.
Oh no, I got nothing to do with this one. No, I'm out.
Hang on, just a second. Chris, your mic is really low, and Claire's yours is loud.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Let me do some adjustments. I can adjust that in the background. You all keep
You got
talking
it.
amongst yourselves.
So yeah, darts, daddy.
Darth Chatty. Are we better now?
Ken Hovind Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
All right, so that should fix Claire.
Is it better, Jay?
That sounds better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with mine, but anyway, it is what it is. I don't know. Can you adjust mine?
It's just it's a shirt. It's all that, Kent Hovind appreciation. Mucking
I
up with your
can't
technology.
adjust mine. I think you've got to adjust mine, Jay, if you want to turn me up. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, it is Kent Hovind Appreciation Night, and I thought we might start with. I actually wasn't too sure. It's there is a song about Kent, but I just don't know the how we go if that's a copyrighted thing. I assume that the person who did it wouldn't mind it being played. I would assume. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Does anyone
we'll find
know?
out. You'll find out, right?
Yeah, I guess. Look, if it gets copyright hit, it gets copyright hit. It's
Hi,
$2 in
Shmi.
the chat from Shmi Dawkins. Did someone say my name?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ed was calling for you. He misses.
No, I was not.
He was lamenting and thinking of you. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Oh dear. Where do we go from that? Well, we've got a couple of options. So we can either do the tour of Dinosaur Adventureland, which I'll do without probably without sound because the sound on it's just like a generic sound thing. But we can have a look around Dinosaur Adventureland, or we can have a look at the geological column and why it's fake. Or we can do dumb tweets. I'm easy.
Mm.
No. Chat. 1, 2, or 3.
That is so big. Clip.
Okay, so one for a tour of Dinosaur Adventureland, 2 for the geological comment, or 3 for this week in social media, the dumbass tweets. Let us know what you think, and that's where we'll.
Why don't we do
start.
the geological column first, and then we do dumbass tweets, and because geological column is going to be a hard slug, and we need something fun to end it with.
Well, that's true. That's true. But, I am going to warn you. It is double denim. Denim doctor.
Double denim.
Yeah, the double denim.
It's a shame Matt can't join us just for the geological column, but
Well, yeah. See, it's
unfortunately.
look. We the good thing is we've got Matt in the chat because it's
we do have Matt in the chat.
Look, everyone's voting for number 8, so people just want to hear me talk. That's cool.
No, that was just get you to stop talking and just put something on. Like you read that wrong.
All right. Well, we'll go with the geological column.
Thank
Kick
you.
it off with Kent Hovind and the geological. He's going to debunk the. So, Jen, this is pretty much going to be all you.
Yeah.
You know that.
I wish it was my field, but it's not. But I should know enough to debunk this.
Look, yeah, I'm pretty confident that you got this, Jen. We do have Matt in the chat.
We have Matt in the chat.
Oh, hang on. Well, okay, Matt can actually join the audio. Well, Matt,
why don't we, Matt? Hop in and we'll do the
I
geological
will
column.
hold off on that until you come in and join because that will be we'll get you on for a few minutes to debunk
the
Dr.
geological
Kent.
column. Well, we could start it whilst Matt's getting ready, so because he's going to just come on in audio.
We can we could just talk amongst ourselves, I guess. It's
we could say good to see you in the chat, Shmi, and you missed Ed professing his undying love for you earlier. It was amazing. We were all stunned.
Shmi knows. She knows it's true. All right. Okay. We have got coming live from a function somewhere else, almost a Dr. Hovind. How are you, mate?
I am actually at home. It's just we've got a lot on at the moment, and I got to get up early tomorrow. So let's see how all that goes.
That's okay.
Let's do the geological column.
But yes, I didn't actually achieve too many things today, although this week's been fairly productive for my PhD. So I've done more for my PhD than Kent has ever done in his life, I think.
Yes.
Hello,
Matthew. Oh my God! Look at that.
Ow! It's like
Wow, that's the best double denim. Like that is the epitome of double denim. That is right.
Why lie? I mean, it's double denim. It's double denim.
Oh God, that's
He does
the
not.
That's fucking wrong.
He doesn't muck around with that shit.
No.
All right, we're good. We're ready for some
Mhm.
Dr. Hovind. So I'm going to mute myself while this is on so we don't get the echo. But look, realistically, Jen and Matt, you two just, when you want to jump in, you tell me to pause or because I'm
Put a
just going
hand
to
up.
be taking time.
Matt Carr, but yeah.
Well, he can say pause. And I
He can say pause.
Do
All
I need
right.
practice? Like applause?
All right, so
No, it
give
doesn't
me a
work.
best pause. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Bzzz.
That's perfect. Yeah.
I love
See, this
He's
is why
doing a
you're
buzzer.
almost a doctor and Kent isn't. All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Hey, folks, here we are at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. This was a gravel pit for years. They dug down about 30 feet of all the gravel, sand, and clay out of here, and they stopped right here at this cliff. You can still see these gravel layers. These layers go all the way to North Carolina,
No, we can't.
100 miles. Why would there be gravel layers? It's gravel, sand, clay. The kids are taught in school that each of the layers of the earth is a different age. The geologic column is one of the biggest lies ever taught in the history of the world. The geologic column does not exist. There's no such thing as a Jurassic age or Triassic or Mississippian. It's all
Mississippi.
all these layers.
Yeah, I mean, just stop for a moment. I mean, I know it's not going to get any better, but but I think we all know that's just flat up wrong. Like, I don't even know if we can say that it's incorrect because there is not enough in it to actually say that it even reaches the level of being wrong. It's like saying the sky is purple. It's like, no, try again.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to work out here is he's got the leg up. He's doing the power stance.
That's the
He'll be doing the at some point during this he'll be doing the professor's cradle, you know, where you hold your hands in the right format in front of your groin so you look like you know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
See,
And
I
he'll be doing
wonder if we
competitions, finger wagging.
I wonder if we asked him to name, because he supposedly debunks this all the time. If we asked him to name all of the geologic ages, how many he would actually get through beyond the handful he's already
common
thrown
ones,
out.
Yeah,
because
I'm
I
guessing
was
what
going to say, I don't ever remember a Mississippian age for one, but I do have another question. The second picture down, all the way on the right hand side of his screen there, is that like a big ancient toy or something?
it'll be a tree.
It's an early carving of the BBC.
They always talk about it as trees running through layers, but what they forget is layers form in different ways, and also you get erosion of layers and then rebuild up through the layers. And the reason why we know layers are as they are for what time periods is because we have different ways of dating the various layers, not only with radioactive decay dating, but also from the type of trees and other life that are present. And all of these things line up, so we know it works.
Yeah, but all that dating's fake.
Oh, and here's the other thing too, is that the different layers, not only vertically but horizontally, you can track different environments from. That's how you know that the Grand Canyon could not have been formed in any way that Kent has said it is, because there are environments that you need to be kind of like mud and gentle rain to form fossilized raindrops. If it's a torrent, you won't get it. You've got fossilized footprints. Again, you need very specific conditions. But we know that there are shallow seas and slightly deeper seas, and we can see these seas go in and out along the coast in these environments.
Yep.
None of this you would see if his point of view was correct. Yeah. And the thing is, we can.
And I think Davros is right in the chat that he meant to say Mesozoic and not Mississippi.
Well, hang on. Did he mean to?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe don't give him that much credit.
No,
yeah,
I said he meant what he should have said. What he was. No, of course he might have actually, just thinking that it was Mississippi because he's a fucking idiot.
This is Kent we're talking about.
I also just noticed down the one under our J toys. It is such an amazing graphic that I think it's actually meant to be a graph, and they've just done text boxes with a red outline to show slope.
Yeah.
I don't think any of however many hundred or so reports I got to mark this semester for my students because we're not in the labs and they're online. I don't think I saw anything quite that bad.
Well, I hope you mark them down because Kent is a real doctor.
Well, the thing is, they made some pretty silly mistakes. Some of them did really well, some of them don't. I mean, that's how it goes. But I don't think I saw anything that stupid. And I saw people miss the graph. Like, the points don't even fit on the graph. I don't know how they managed it, but they did. But yeah, that... I have... I know what they're trying to get at, but it's...
There's some poor uni student sitting there at the moment just breaking down in tears because they've gone, I forgot to do that. Holy shit. Oh, no. He's the guy marking it.
Oh, that's all. They have all their marks already. They know what... And I've already left comments. Yes, and I'm not giving specifics. I'm very general.
No, I'm joking. All right, well, let's get back to Kent debunking the geological column.
Hi. They say the top layer's younger. I say, really? Where did it come from? Every time people come to our tour here, we show them this little jar that I shake up. It always settles out into gravel, sand, clay. Gravel, sand, clay.
Because it's in a jar, you fucking idiot.
It's not even that, because he's missing the point that the geologic layer doesn't work like that. It doesn't settle into gravel, sand, and gravel, clay, sand. It settles by the type of environment that the world was in at the time. So if you have a lot of volcanic activity, your layer is going to have a lot of volcanic ash in it. So we can tell by the timelines because of the things that happened at particular times when they happened. That's why you've got the K2 boundary, because you've got that layer of iridium within the Earth that could have only come from a giant fucking asteroid colliding into the planet. Because
and on top of that, with that iridium, if it's sorting out by particle size or density, why is the iridium at the K2 boundary where it is?
Because it shouldn't be.
Sorry, I've got to read this one out from Belinda Paul. Gravel, sand, clay, double denim.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Now, I know I'm not as much into science as Jen or almost a Matt, but I understand that there's a big difference between the layers of the Earth and layers in a closed compartment like freaking dumbass is trying to show us here.
Yeah. It is quite amazing. Hovind teaching science.
Unless there's a dome covering the flat Earth, of course.
Unless,
he brings up that jar. Says when I shake it, it always comes out to this level, but then he doesn't shake it to prove it. He just sets it back down and then grabs his picture.
Well, hang on. We are talking about honest Kent Hovind.
Wait, what?
Hello, my name.
That's an oxymoron. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's just the language. That's a foul.
Dinosaur Adventureland, folks.
It's an oxymoron.
Now, any bet she's going to say water?
Water.
Oh, yeah.
Water.
Should we have a water count?
we can do a water count. We can do a water count.
Drink every time he says water. Just got to give everybody a warning.
I'm on the water tonight.
All right. Should we keep playing?
All right, back to the doctor.
Little bitty layers. Now, wait a minute. They tell the kids the layers are different ages. If you shuffle a deck of cards, is the top card younger?
Oh, fuck. No, he didn't just say that, did he?
No. What?
One of the biggest hoaxes ever.
He just said if you shuffle a deck of cards, is the top one younger?
It was the last one that you placed there, though.
Oh,
wow.
fuck. I wonder if that was in his PhD thesis.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is.
All over the world, petrified trees are found standing up,
That's
connecting all the
BBC's.
Well, how long does a dead
Yeah,
tree
those
stand
aren't trees, Kent.
for? Latitude in
They're
Lennox,
not.
31 degrees.
Well, no,
north.
you do get trees that end up in the geological layer like that because
Sideways moving water at 90.
Now, we do have a super chat from the one and only Godless Scummer. 5 of the Queen's finest pounds. Remember that Simon Dan said he'd debate Kent live on stage if Kent could pass a GCSE science test. Kent wimped out.
yeah,
Yes,
of course
he
you couldn't.
Probably a good call based on this. I don't think he did that.
He also,
poly. What are they called? Those trees? Poly something or other.
Polystrate, but
Polystrate.
yeah, polystrate
Polystrate.
fossils.
Yeah.
And guess what? The only thing that we've ever found as a polystrate fossil are trees. The
Yes.
things that are known to be able to stay upright for sometimes hundreds of years. There's never been an animal. There's never been a fungus. There's never been anything else except a couple of tree trunks.
Yep.
Good
And
work.
And they
in the
can be
mountains.
buried in multiple layers. But generally they happen because a tree dies. It gets partly buried or fully buried. It starts to fossilize, and then you have erosion. But the fossil is tougher than the ground around it, so the tree erodes slower, and then you have it recovered again. So the tree can be in multiple layers because the layers get eroded and put back in. You don't have exactly the same layers all over the world. You have some areas of the world don't have some layers because they've been eroded. Australia is particularly like that because there's so much erosion here, and so little top layers.
Yeah, all our top layers are gone.
Yeah, all our top
We
layers.
haven't had any new layers added for so long. Plus, the Grand Canyon's missing about 1 billion years. Whole east coast of America.
And it's the same thing. You've got areas of the world that don't have some layers because of erosion and things like that. So you get trees like this. But you also get areas where some of those layers were very muddy and you have big storms, and trees are quite solid compared to mud, and they can be actually jammed into the ground. Or you can have areas where you have mud subsidence underneath and the tree actually falls down through the ground and then actually falls into the layers. So there's lots of reasons why you can have trees that end up like this in it, and it's never because the layers are fake. If the layers are real, the tree just happened to end up in them because of various different.
You got to remember though, he's a doctor and he taught science for 15 years, so he knows more than you.
High school science,
yeah. One day maybe I'll be able to say I've taught science longer.
I'm waiting to read your thesis just with "Hello, my name is" at the start of it.
Well, based on what
I would actually like to pass. Also, another point with the trees is, and I'm not sure if it's the one that we're looking at there, but there is one very similar to it where it's not just one tree, but it's an entire forest buried under a mountain. Where what happened was the trees grew up and then a massive volcano came through, wiped the trees out and buried the bottom parts of them. And then that happened again a few hundred years later. And to get to the sizes of the trees, because you can look at the growth rings, you can look at how long soil takes to recover after those sorts of events. Even if you're generous, I think the age that comes to is something like, is it more? It's like 40,000 years. It's like, I think it's like nearly an order of magnitude older than he thinks the Earth is.
Yeah.
So I don't think he should be pointing at those trees.
No.
In reality, it was like a few 100,000 years to make it at least, but you can be generous and cut some of those years out and it still doesn't work. Oh, what's the bottom one? I just noticed there's some kind of poorly drawn stegosaur with a quote on it. Has your life ever fallen out from under you? Do what the tree did. Dig in, hold tight, and follow the light. That,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a Kentism. That's a Kentism. Hey, we got a crazy in the chat. I love it.
Yeah, I
That
removed
was,
them.
that was interesting.
You shall
What
all
did it- what
take the
happened?
$32,000 crypto money to be branded with a barcode. Yes, the barcode of revelation. Omnibar. On the day I turn Mecca to dust. Sure. You
Okay.
die no matter where you are. Ta-ta, lol. That's some
Wow.
Christian love. Thank you.
This
Was
is
the
so-
Thank
this
you.
is so
barcode thing a
learning for me.
reference to the vaccine?
Don't
Yeah.
give them ideas, but yeah, I have heard that. That's the mark of the beast. Yeah. Yeah, it's just special. All right, so back to the doctor.
Yeah.
100 miles an hour would take all the rocks and roll them against each other like a rock tumbler does and round them off. All over the world, gravel is rounded. They
Does
call
he
it-
know what a
No, it's
lake
not.
is or a
This is from
stream?
the flood. It was rounded
And
back.
not all
Wait,
gravel
wait,
is
wait,
rounded
wait.
either.
These
Go
rounded
Bennett.
layers go to North Carolina. If that's a river, that's a big river. 500 miles. All over the world, petrified clams are found. Normally, when you find seashells along the beach, as soon as they die, they open. Well, and you hardly ever find a matched pair. But all over the world, petrified clams.
Can you pause it there for a moment? The fact that they all open when they die is false. Some of them do,
Right.
not
Yeah.
all species will. It actually, there's a lot of variance in there, but that's just flat out wrong. Sorry.
Absolutely. And I can tell you from my experience as a commercial fisherman, Matt is absolutely correct. There are lots of shellfish that do not open when they die. You can find shells that are closed and shake them up like a little rattle.
Like mussels and
I'll tell him categorically, not all gravel is fucking round.
I was gonna say, not all
No.
rocks and gravel around them. Most of them are pointed.
you think
Yeah.
you would know.
Yeah,
It's kind of
just-
obvious when you buy.
You only get rounded stones where they were in an area that had fast flowing water. That's the only
Yeah.
time you get it. So
What you got to remember with
slide to
Kent though
people.
is, even if Kent knows the stuff he's saying is bullshit, his audience doesn't. He's presenting this to an audience of people who really have no scientific knowledge. That's his market. So you say something in a convincing enough way. With it's like we used to say the continents they never drifted apart. They're all still joined. There's just a layer of water above them. It's just like but people used to sit there and go, oh my goodness, that makes sense. And it's just like, no.
I wonder how much you had to dig through the rocks he's got there to actually find bits of gravel that were smooth.
He probably
Yeah,
smoothed them out
the
himself.
ones behind him
Yeah.
don't look.
He
But
brought
you know what I
They're
like? He
particularly
keeps
smooth.
talking about being able to spot the layers in the rocks behind him, and to me, it just looks like a mess of stuff that's falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's mostly a deposit of clay behind you by the looks of things, which is why it was dug out. And it was probably mostly all deposited at one time. So it is the next geological layer is probably quite a bit lower than that, than what they actually dug out. Because the quarry only sought to dig out the clay. They wouldn't have dug down into the other layers because there wouldn't have been any point. They just wanted the clay.
All right, let's keep going.
Position. Petrified closed clams. It had to be buried alive quickly. If the water came up 200 feet and at 900 miles an hour, it's going to make a layer of mud 50 feet thick in 10
What's
seconds.
with the weird baby gnome?
I don't know.
It's Kent Hovind.
Wait, a layer of mud 15 feet thick in 10 seconds.
Yeah, because of the global flood, the Noah's flood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not even going to go into the problems of the flood
No.
and the heat issues and the fact that there isn't enough water on the earth to cover the entire earth. Let's ignore that bit and we'll just deal with this geological bullshit.
It apparently doesn't eat shellfish either, because everybody knows when you get shellfish, it doesn't open up. It's dead.
I am unprepared for this. Give me just a second.
The reality is you are going to have some clams that get fossilized in some areas,
That's what we needed.
and because the geologic conditions were right for them to be buried and to have things, and especially things that lived in rivers and things like that, are more likely to have been covered in the silt in the river and then fossilized than if you had something on land like a dinosaur, which is less likely to have got covered unless it was, in the water at the time or it was flash flooded or whatever else, because that's why we have so few dinosaur bones, but we get a lot more coastal aquatic animal fossils because they're in the right conditions to get fossilized, which is why you get clam fossils. But that doesn't mean they were fossilized all over the world. His flood would actually screw that up.
He probably he probably doesn't know that, but he doesn't care. This is Kent we're talking about. But anyway, let's continue.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Clam beds. They find petrified closed clams on top of Mount Everest, tallest mountain in the world, full of seashells.
Yes,
Today
because
the
Mount
world-
Everest is an uplift area, and the top and close to the top of it used to be an area that was in a shallow sea. It lifted up because two continents are colliding together, and that was where the coast was. You dumb nut!
Right. Could I just
What
say,
Jen said.
You would
just really
expect to
gotta
find fossils there.
give him credit for how much money he puts into his teaching implements here. His little graphics and stuff is pretty sad.
But does he understand that some mountains are still, coming up?
He doesn't believe in tectonic plate movements. He doesn't
Now,
think things are shifting. So
I just want to say I'm
he
pretty
wouldn't
sure
believe that.
this is actually being done at his Dinosaur Adventureland, and I'm just looking there, and I'm loving the little free weights there. Kent, he's working on those guns. Way to go,
Come
Kenty
on.
boy!
I can't get past the patches on that shirt.
They could be for Mr. Peel. I mean, that looks like the right size hut for Mr. Peel to live in. So they could be Mr. Peel's.
Good
What do
boy.
you reckon, Jeff? Are they Mr. Peel's weights?
Oh, man.
Oysters, 14 inches. They find fossilized oysters in the mountains in Peru, 500 of them,
Of course
all
they
bigger
do.
than the world's record. Here's a
Yes.
guy laying on one. There's 11.5-foot oyster found 2 miles above sea level. I think there was a flood.
It's because the Andes are the
The water
same.
came at 200
That,
feet at 900 miles an hour. It's going to knock all the trees down and bury them under a layer of mud and form coal.
Yeah, knock them down, not have them standing up.
'cause that's not
like
how
the other
coal
one he
forms,
showed
you
us.
dickhead.
Coal, gravel, coal.
Uh,
Well, that's the tide going back and forth. The different.
Stop.
what? No.
Coal does
understand,
not
Ken, that-
form that quick, you freaking
Yeah.
moron.
And most of the coal and oil and other petroleum-like products that we get did not form from the forest. They formed from algae in shallow seas.
Half correct. The
Half correct,
coal
yes.
is actually forests, but
Yes.
it comes from the Carboniferous period before any bacteria had evolved that could actually decay it.
Okay.
So pretty much
Yeah.
all our coal comes from that, hence why it's called the Carboniferous, because it can, carbon.
Yeah.
Is it carbon bearing? I know it means carbon or something like that. But the oil is a different case. It actually comes from the sea environments where, as Jen was mentioning, is algae and bacteria that used to die and form a mat on the bottom.
Yeah.
But again, before anything evolved that actually decayed it. So that's why we're not going to replenish stocks of either of those in any significant rate compared to what was done in the past or what we're using them. But the other thing too is, actually no, I completely forgot. What was the other really stupid thing he said?
Oh,
There was a specific stupid
The
thing, and I
tides
can't remember
going
which
in and out
stupid
was
thing.
what
Oh
formed
yeah,
the
that's
waves.
right.
Oh, God.
I've never known a flood that had tides. Anyone?
No.
No.
No, even
No.
no,
No.
nope. Not that I'm aware of. All right, let's
And
continue.
let's see the close, because he's probably thinking of how tsunami works, that there'd be big tsunamis and if there was a global flood. But a global flood, the way the biblical thing is, would be a slow rising of thing, not a massive all at once rising of the water. So you couldn't have a tsunami.
No, well, hang on. You haven't heard the Hovind theory, have you?
Yeah, I have, but the Hovind theory is completely debunkable, so I don't care.
Everything he's saying is completely debunkable.
Yeah,
but,
but that's the point. If you're dealing with if you're talking about tsunamis don't put layers in the same sense as the layers you'd have here. They actually tear off the top layers, and then you get a small amount of layer that comes in over the top. But as the tsunami pulls back out again, it pulls most of that back up. So you actually get more erosion than you get layers put down during a tsunami, because it's so to have layers put down as a geologic layer, it has to happen slowly over time. If it happens quickly, you don't get the layers. This is where he'll talk about the Grand Canyon at some point and how it all happened instantly because of the flood, etc. Because that's what he talks about. But is it called the Scratch Lands in the US, where they did have a giant glacial flood that tore it out, and he tries to compare that to the Grand Canyon, but it's totally different, because what you can see with that is, instead of a slow erosion over time, is you see a sudden scraping of all the layers all at once, and something that has no pattern to it that like going through. So it's very different, the type of erosion you get in something like, I think they're called the Scratch Lands. Is that right, Matt? Is it the Scratch?
I forget the name. It's always terrible.
Yeah, I think it's called the Scratch Lands, but if you can remember what it's called, correct me. But that kind of erosion that happens very fast, and it was basically a huge glacial lake. And the at the end of the last ice age, the glacial wall that was holding the water in behind it finally failed, and the billions of tons of water that was
it actually occurred multiple times.
Yeah, but
so it froze and then broke and froze and broke a number of times. So you can actually see individual flood events.
Yeah, and you can see how it ripped up giant boulders and shifted them. And that's not what you see at somewhere like the Grand Canyon. So you know the Grand Canyon took a long time to happen.
It's also not what you see around him either.
Yeah, it's not what you see around him either.
Let us we've only got about 50 seconds of
let's go in.
Let's power through this sucker.
Change. Noah was in the ark for 880 tidal changes. The water came up, down, in, out, 880 times.
In, out, up,
Didn't make
down.
all these layers in one day, not millions of years.
Up, down with the
this up a
BBC.
few minutes ago. It's already settling out. Gravel, sand.
You never
Didn't
shake
shake
it. You didn't shake it.
Again, I'd like to point out that tides don't deposit layers. Tides
wait, pause.
There is no.
Just go back. Hit the back arrow. Just 5 seconds.
He wants that jaw.
Yeah. Can we see the lack of layers in the middle there? Just the irony that it hasn't actually.
Because what he's got is a layer of muddy water and all the stuff that he shook up mixed together.
Yep.
Funny that.
Yes, I just like how his own prop proves him wrong.
Yeah.
But his audience doesn't know that.
No, that's the beauty of it. It's oh my god. Oh god. It's painful.
It is.
It is.
But again, as I was saying, hang on, before you go on, tides don't deposit materials on the shore. They erode shorelines. A major problem we have here in Australia is shoreline erosion, and that's because tides erode. They don't deposit new layers.
Yeah, we have that here too.
Yeah, we got that too.
Anyone who has a house right up on the edge of the beach knows why that's not a good long-term investment.
Thing as a geologic column, one of the biggest lies ever taught to kids in school.
Was
During the
anything
Archean era, there's no such thing as an Archean era. This geologic column that they teach is the evolutionist. It's number one. It's an absolute lie.
Hang on. No, he does have Mississippian in there.
Oh no.
No, it's a lie. It is actually a. I think it actually is
Pennsylvanian?
Yeah, no, they're named because the fossils and the
where they were found,
and the strata are mainly found in those states.
But he's calling them areas of time.
Yeah, they are. They represent certain parts, but their best
do.
Representation is generally in those states.
Okay.
So if we really wanted to, go beyond Jurassic Park as a movie, we could have Pennsylvanian Park. It's just Ed chasing people
but you wouldn't
around.
have dinosaurs. You'd have, you'd have
Yeah,
you're
we'd have a
going back
dinosaur.
to just post-Cambrian sort of time. So you'd have mostly
couple of
shallow water
trilobites.
and
Oh no, you
and
have some big
amphibians.
scorpions.
Big scorpions and
Scorpions.
amphibians. Yeah.
And one dinosaur, at least one dinosaur.
Well, do we
what's
have
it, the
dragonflies
Eco
by
of-
then? Do we have the giant dragonflies by then?
No, not by then. You're not out of the water yet.
I think you need to get to the Permian before you. No, you are. You've got because you do have amphibians and
I think what Chris is trying to get at
maybe
in the Pennsylvanian area, you'd have a Grumposaurus Rex.
It was. I was going for the joke and got the science lecture instead, but that's okay because I learned something.
Yeah.
So that's all right. All right, let's finish this off. We've got 8 seconds.
Please put us out of our misery.
Oh no, that's actually it. There you go.
That is
Hooray!
Yay!
We got through it. We did it. I'm so happy for us all.
You want to talk about the Hovind theory of how it works? It totally fails because of the heat problem.
It fails on a lot of levels.
Yeah, but I mean, the biggest problem for it is if you have this enormous ice layer that holds back a big layer of water above it, and you're going to melt that ice layer and drop the water down, you are going to heat up the Earth to the point where you kill absolutely everything. There's no chance for Noah. There's no chance for life in the future or anything. You have just fucked the entire planet.
Yeah, you can't actually condense enough water out to create a global flood without turning the Earth into a giant pressure cooker.
Yeah.
It's not. It's physically not possible. The heat capacity of water is incredibly high at was it 4.18, and I got to remember the units. I think 4.18 kilojoules per degree per mole.
Yeah.
We need to move on because we need to get to social media stuff.
Let's get out of this and let's get out of the.
And I am going to have to.
And we got a couple of social media funnies just for Ed.
I want to say, can we say thank you to Matt for jumping?
Yes, we can. Thank you, Matt.
And now I kind of want to stay for some of the social media ones.
Well, you're welcome to. Thank you, Matt, because this would have been hard without you. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, you're all welcome. I'll stay for a couple of minutes, but if I drop out suddenly, you'll all know why. So in advance, I'll just say goodbye in case. But yeah.
All right.
So I'll push a couple more minutes, and then I need to get to bed.
So some of you I know have. Oh, hang on. We got a super chat here real quick before we start this. Where did we go? D3 says, Chris, this is ridiculous. There was no water count. Also, the fact that we all perished does not mean Jay is. Does that not mean Jay is my brother? There was no water. Yeah. And where was the water count, Chris?
Well, I don't think he said it, did he?
No,
I didn't hear him.
He didn't go down the Noah's Ark completely. So
no, he kept saying tides. So
yeah.
He possibly went down the BBC, but that's for another stream.
All right, so incredible. A Tibetan monk was discovered in the mountains of Nepal. He is considered the oldest person in the world at 201 years old. He's in a deep state of trance or meditation called Takatet, however you want to pronounce it. When he was first discovered in the mountain cave, they thought he was a mummy. However, scientists examining him thought that he was a mummy, discovered that he had vital signs and was alive. Among his things, they found a piece of paper that said, "Stop believing all the bullshit you read on Facebook."
Everyone knows that the oldest Buddhist in the world is actually Jay. So
that's brilliant. That's an amazing.
That was
hit.
good.
That's a troll. That's a great troll.
Tap the screen.
Jay, you're really your microphone. You're crackly as.
Am I?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do this here.
Oh.
How's that?
Better.
Better.
Yep.
Better.
That better? Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
So here's a tap on the screen.
Yep.
Very good.
That's just-
Yeah, that's a good
DJ
one. I
Ed
like
the
that.
Pope
Yeah,
spitting
he's
them
in the
mad
Guardian,
rhymes.
Yeah.
Dropping those sick beats.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here is a before and after picture of Chris from his youth and now to now.
Oh,
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I like it. I like it. Look at those bees.
Hey, looking good.
Went to Comic-Con as Uncle Ben, the gold die in front of many Spider-Men as possible.
That's I like that. Oh,
Everyone is complaining about people already having their Christmas trees up. I'm already drunk for St. Patrick's Day. Fight me.
Good point.
that's a good. Oh,
Yes, but we will not end the war on Christmas until it agrees to our demands to end its illegal occupation of
Patient of
November.
Yep.
it's true. It's just true.
Amen.
I'm for that. I'm all
Anyway,
for that.
can't we just go back to celebrating Saturnalia?
Yeah.
Sure. I
Yeah,
think we're doing that anyway.
well,
Police say nearly 1,200 pounds of pot missing from warehouse that was eaten by mice.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
eaten
some fun
by
time.
mice.
Yeah.
Sure
No,
it was, yeah.
Actually, that happens quite often. Actually, the rats and the mice
It's
get
like-
into it.
Hey,
I bet they do. Yes.
it's just a bunch of mice
well,
lying upside down.
the,
Upside down.
the
just
mice
going,
ate the dope, Judge. Yeah, Your Honor.
Yep,
The mouse ate the
mhm.
dope. It was
It
so
was the
dope.
mice.
Do you have a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior Edgar Allan Poe?
Look at the cat's face. It's like, no. Oh my god.
There, this is from Pete, just for Ed.
What the fuck?
I mean, Adam, this is Eve. You are to love her for always. But who is he? Oh, that's just a grumpy old dude. He was here when I got here.
I love that one. Oh my god. Oh, God. That was good, right?
I don't know what I do without coffee. Probably 25 to life in the state pen.
Yeah,
True story, right? Oh my god.
I can confirm.
Oh god, it's too true.
The Earth is 70% uncarbonated water. Therefore, Earth is flat.
Dad
Yeah.
joke's gonna win.
I did see that one, and I think that
I've seen it.
is the most convincing evidence out there for a flat Earth.
Checkmate, atheist.
But technically, wouldn't that just mean a flat ocean?
Shh, Jen.
Jen, don't ruin that
Flat Earth,
theory.
you're not meant
I
to
mean,
use
it
your
was
brain.
the only thing they had. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but at least that way
Oh.
they argue that the ocean looks flat. Well, that's not carbonated, you idiots.
Lower cognitive ability linked to non-compliance with social distancing guidelines during the coronavirus. The caption: I don't know what lower cognitive ability means, but I certainly won't wear a mask ever.
Way to prove a point.
That one's got to be a joke.
Oh no, no, no.
You hope it is, but
You would hope, but yeah.
No, if you came here in the States, you'd know it's probably not a joke. It's probably not a joke. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My husband and I would be considered the least educated out of our friends group. Yet we are the only two unvaxxed. The rest have bought into this entire thing. Yet this is what they want, us to believe the educated people know more and are protecting people by getting the shot.
Prove the point again.
Okay.
I got nothing.
everyone, don't listen to people on the internet. Consult your doctor.
Yep.
That's a
Oh.
fucking crime.
Ew, that's
Bam
in
life.
disgusting.
Oh my
I
goodness!
like
I feel
spam.
sorry for the liners.
I like spam. This
I am
I like
visually
spam.
offended. I'm
here's
visually
here's,
It's
offended.
so
here's the
bad.
recipe. Make a Spanish sauce of canned tomatoes, chopped onions, green peppers, and celery leaves with a little salt and sugar and lard. So it tells you how old this friggin' recipe is. Add to fresh or frozen pre-cooked limas in a casserole. Partly bury 8 to 10 slices of Spam on top, garnish with pimento squares, and bake 25 minutes at 350.
No.
That just looks nasty.
The limas are what ruin it, though. I mean, I don't like limas.
No, the Spam is what ruins it.
No. I can make a Spam casserole.
Disgusting.
Oh my god, it's yummy. Oh no.
I felt guilty giving that stuff to my dog. It's terrible.
I know, it doesn't even
Spam's awesome.
These people are dreadful, aren't they, Jay? I love Spam.
Love some Spam.
I'm gonna go have a Vegemite sandwich.
We won't hold it against you. You don't even like pineapple, so we can't.
Spam, cheese, and egg.
You don't have it. No.
Spam, cheese, and egg.
Oh yeah, that's it. Pete says, just think of the wind from that.
You have to blow a BBC over.
Oh god.
Marks on the adjacent causes cuts and injuries to the head and bloodshed. There's also generally a mark or scar on that part of the body governed by the sign in which Mars is placed in the horoscope.
What?
Ow.
Wait.
My brain hurts from that one.
Yeah, like
medical astrology. Oh wow, that's a new.
Well, it's like Christian Science.
If you remove it from your body and you don't die, that means it was a separate life.
Quick! What the hell?
Yeah.
I retweeted this. And my comment was, what the hell was my comment now?
What was it? Something about either the
appendix,
or the gallbladder?
R.I.P. my appendix. You had a good 12 years, little buddy.
Just sleep. Oh my god. Oh no.
Okay, I got to scroll in on this one. So you know, Will, I never.
No. So I'm sorry. If you are going to read Jean-Luc Picard, you will do it in a Jean-Luc Picard voice.
I can't.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. All right, Chris, you're on.
Oh, is it me? Okay. I was hoping for a J-Luc Picard there. Yeah. You know, I will never carpool to the academy. No, sorry. You know, Will, I never carpooled to the academy. I was too afraid of getting trapped in a tunnel and unable to get out with all the other people there.
That's an oddly specific fear, sir.
Yes. The doctors called it carpool tunnel syndrome.
On that joke alone, I find humanity guilty of all charges.
You go get him.
I love Captain Picard. He's my hero.
Oh, man.
He's quite a funny guy.
This fucking
voice.
Oh,
this freaking lady.
Nuts.
Oh, fucking
End-time preacher.
Boo. Anyway, sorry.
End times preacher Sharon Gilbert says that an alien imitated her husband, and then it tried to have sex with her, and then it claimed to be Xerxes, and then Jesus got involved, and then the alien turned out to be a reptile with a posse of gargoyles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about this whole thing is right here, where they're peddling the Great Delusion DVD.
The look on her face, though, you just know she's been taking drugs.
Well, the funny thing is she's sitting next to her husband. That's her husband right there.
Yep.
The only thing I can say is crystal meth must be one hell of a drug.
Like, what the hell?
I'm just thinking the husband's come in and said, "Who was that you were with?" And she's like, "You're not going to believe this, but so anyway, there was an alien that came down, and
pretended it was you."
And the husband's just there going, "Oh my god, that's amazing! We've got to tell Jim." And she's like, "Shit."
Jim will fix it.
Jim will fix it.
So she told her, and Jim's there, and it's like, holy.
Oh, who's the pink-haired lady who said that there's warehouses of human organs and limbs in heaven? And she went there,
What?
and you can just
Yeah.
order like a new.
I know
foot.
the lady you're talking about, but I haven't heard that one.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
She's saying there's spare parts in heaven? Like what?
Yeah,
She's another one of
basically.
those ones who, yeah, she's like the one. Oh, what was the one who does all the astral traveling and does the visiting other planets and stuff? Oh, who was that, Jay?
Cosmic Empress.
Yeah, she's kind of like Cosmic Empress.
There's a Christian author who does her trips to heaven and trips to hell, like because Jesus takes her on special trips to see, so she can write books and sell them.
Man.
Yeah. I agree with Belinda. She says it must be bad mushies. Yeah. Sounds like
She's having quite the trip.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it was a good trip. I mean, she's having an orgy with aliens and Xerxes and Jesus and
gargoyles.
A whole posse of gargoyles.
I mean, from what I can see, she's the only lady there.
If she
Cat
was
the
having an
Humanist
orgy
got it
with
right.
gargoyles, she was obviously stoned.
Oh, Jen. God. Ow. Also, Cat the Humanist got it right. I just like how Cat the Humanist got Cat Kerr, and then Wildcard 120s also mentioned Cat Kerr. That's the pink head crazy one.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I don't see a problem with this picture. This is the kind of world atheists want.
I'm good with that.
I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? Like,
well, actually, no. It's false because
no.
there's a cat in the window. There would be no cat in any world I live.
No.
No. I've noticed another problem. My only problem with this world is that somebody has plucked the velociraptors and somehow snapped their arms the wrong way round. That's my problem with this.
That wouldn't be a velociraptor, though. That wouldn't be a velociraptor.
Huh?
They're too big to be.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. Any raptor, things have to be, cannot hold their arms like that. So if you ever see, when people like impersonate a T-Rex and they hold their arms really close to their chest, their elbows in, you actually have to have your palms facing each other. Yeah, because they can't put their palms down or up. They physically can't twist. So when you see dinosaurs, the fact that I think they might have too many fingers. Oh no, I think the fingers are right.
Like really? The only problem is that no roller skates.
Well, there you go.
Nah, I hurt myself.
Fuzzy slippers. I mean, come on. I mean, points for the fuzzy slippers.
Yeah. On to the next one. Oh, they already had that one.
Oh, doubled up.
Okay. Apparently. So this was the bigger picture. This is him now.
Oh, man.
Before. After.
My God. Oh, God. Okay.
Matt needs to read this one.
Oh, okay.
Brace yourself, man.
This is probably going to hurt.
Yeah, it's good.
It is possible that the vaccine interferes with protein transcription process and prevents us from reincarnating when we decompose after we die. What a great sentence. God would not be able to recognize this sequence and we would not be able to enter heaven.
Well, there is that.
God, beaten by science.
Matthew, that hurt.
Do these people actually know the difference between RNA and DNA and what either of those things
they
does?
don't.
No.
They don't. They definitely don't.
Quite obviously not. Yeah.
Well, maybe they do because they did their own research on the internet.
That's true.
That's what happens,
It does.
Do you reckon they used the Guardian or the Mail?
Both. The Onion.
The Onion.
No, then it would. No, they didn't use the Onion. Then it would be funny.
How y'all met Paul Bettany versus how I met Paul Bettany.
Woo!
And if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Chris looks lost.
No idea.
That was when he played Chaucer in
the Knight's Tale.
in Knight's Tale.
You've
Nope.
One
never
of his
seen
first
Night
major
Tale?
roles, actually.
Yeah, no, I never saw it.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good
you
movie.
need to watch
That is-
it.
that
It
is-
is
that
so
is-
worth watching.
Probably one of Heath Ledger's best performances.
That was good.
And Paul Bettany is
Oh,
absolutely
he was
brilliant
great.
in it. As
Alan
Chauncey, he was
Alan
brilliant.
Tudyk's in it. Oh man, it's
The
See,
cast is
I
amazing.
have issues with Heath Ledger ever since he did the Sally on Home and Away. He broke her heart.
Jeez.
The English will understand.
After I finish Thanksgiving dinner, I'm too weak. 5 seconds later, when somebody brings out the pie, hey,
There you go. Bye.
I don't expect me to stop if you broke it down on the side of the road. You were offered an extended car warranty several times.
Every damn day, email and phone call.
That is true. Davros, Paul Bettany and Priest was awesome. That is $2 super, $2 Australian dollar super chat from Digital Demonic Davros. Priest was great. I actually went and seen Priest in 3D in the theaters.
Did you? Well, that must have been a really early 3D movie.
Yeah, it
Priest,
was.
then.
It was.
Yeah.
The whole movie wasn't so much good with the 3D part, but when he was sitting outside the city and the ash was raining down, that was fantastic.
It was actually a really good movie.
So Priest was excellent. Yep, this is the last one. The thing is, Die Hard wasn't a Christmas movie originally. The script was changed by Constantine in 336 to align it with the Sol Invictus Festival. It was declared a Christmas movie at the Council of Nicaea. I can't believe I have to get angry about this.
I love
That's funny.
that. That is brilliant.
There's a brilliant line from Dara O'Brien where he's complaining about having to go and sit through his kid's nativity play, and he's like, "Why does it always have to be nativity? Why can't we do other Christmas stories like Die Hard?" Can you imagine a nativity play with toddlers running through a makeshift, or like a mock-up of the Nakatomi
Plaza,
yelling "Yippee Ki-yay!"
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! We have a super chat, £2 from the Godless Scummer, 2 of the Queen's finest pounds, 2 coming from our good friend Jeff. He was awesome as the Prince of Orange and Sharp.
Oh, is he the Prince of Orange?
I
don't know
that one.
There was a TV series based on Bernard Cornwell's Sharp series, where he's the Napoleonic era.
Yeah.
And that is the end of this week in social media.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, what I do have is lined up for us is I was of two minds about whether to play it or not. I don't know what the copyright rule is going to be on it. If we get copyright hit, we get copyright hit. But the tribute to Kent Hovind song.
All right.
I think he's generally pretty good about people playing it. So
before you get to that, I have to get going. I'm gonna go spend time with my daughter and her boyfriend. So I will see you all again soon, and be prepared for my show coming up this Thursday, which will be Thump a Theist Thursday.
I love that. I'm so jealous that you came up with that.
Yeah, that is so good, Ed.
All right. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.
Have fun.
I'm also going to have to head off as well. I need to get going. So yes, thank you for having me.
We may even end it with this because I'm probably going to have to go in a second. Or if Jay, Jen, and Claire want to keep going, you three can keep going.
I'm probably about done as well.
All right. So what we're going to do is, I think we'll play the song to
sorry, Chris.
send us out.
Just going to say bye one last time before you do.
Bye, Matt.
All right.
Bye,
Mate.
Matt. Tuesday. Bye, man.
See you, buddy. All right. Well, let's play this, and classic song, and we'll wind it. Have you all heard this?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, I
It's going to be a treat for two of you. This is a classic. This is like 14. This is from like when he just went to jail, I think. So enjoy.
It says fuck. Oh, it says.
Yeah, we all know this guy. He's a friggin' ass. Yeah, he calls calls himself a doctor, but he hasn't passed a science class. Was just a man. I don't know about you, but that's fucking lame. I guess the real. Just like Texas did, you're a
Angie Kings.
You're a he tries to prove made up shit. Science is a lie and the Bible proves it. Knows that Bible, but he's claimed to have read. Has about as much facts as Evil Dead. Yes, God is for sale.
What?
What is really sad is people out there buying to the shady preachers. Yeah. This one's for you, Kent. Check it out. You're a
Sure are.
You're a fucktard, aren't you, Cat? You're a fucktard, aren't you, Cat? You're a fucktard, aren't you, Cat? You're a fucktard, aren't you, Cat?
Oh, that's good. Oh, I need a
That's
warning
brilliant.
this time, Chris.
That was that is a classic. That is an absolute classic. $5 super chat from Native Atheist, doing what we were all doing, and that is laughing with
God.
tears, because that is it's. I actually first came across that while I was a Christian watching Kent Hovind DVDs,
Oh no!
and I actually thought it was pretty funny back then.
Did you enjoy the chorus as much as we did? Like, because that's
Oh, yeah,
stuck in my
yeah.
like, whoa.
Player's going to be singing that all day.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
it's a
singing
classic
that
song.
like for the next.
You've heard that
24
before, though, haven't you, Jay?
No, I hadn't.
Oh, because I mean, Logic always put it on the end of his videos about Kent Hovind. So
I don't watch
he
Logic.
did it.
Oh,
So if you ever
there
did
you
a
go.
video about it, but other people have used it too. So I've been aware of it for a really long time.
No,
Oh, yeah, I
first
need a
time
link for
heard
this.
it.
Yeah, I remember we were looking for Kent Hovind resources back in my Christian days online, and we came across that, and it was just it was even back when I was like massively in the church, we thought that was pretty funny.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was- that was
you gotta
classic.
you gotta link me. I just need to get just a snippet of that chorus, man. I got
I'll
There's a
put
plans.
it
couple
in-
of better recordings of it too than that. So.
I have
I'll put it in
I
there,
have
brother.
plans, man. Oh god, that just inspired me.
Actually, probably
They're
one
very
of the best ones was back in the old non-sec show, the roast of Kent Hovind.
That was
That's probably
fantastic.
still one of my favorite things on the internet, even if it's got Kyle Curtis on it. It was that was the non-sex show back in its day, man. I miss that. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll see what Steve can do with it. It's
I'm looking forward to that. I really want to see.
yeah. I think look, it'll be interesting. I think it's it's a couple of years down the track. We'll see what happens. But anyway, on that note, we might wrap the stream up because it's after midnight here. I do need my beauty sleep, and it's really cold, and I really want to get this Hawaiian shirt off because it's cold.
Yeah.
We're just about to go into summer here, and it's like freezing.
It's hot here, Chris. I've got a fan on.
It's terrible. It's just like it's normally this time of year. It's really hot in Canberra, but it's miserable. It's 9 degrees. It's terrible.
It's cold here.
It appears the thumb down went up both at once. Imagine that.
Incidentally, and something funny I did discover today whilst looking at some of Hovind's videos is on his Whacking Atheists, he doesn't display the thumbs up and thumbs down.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Gutless.
Curious. Oh.
So
Jen,
what you got
come
coming
on,
up?
Kent. Come on, whack us, Kent.
Yeah, come whack us, Kent.
Yeah,
Go for
because we'll have fun We'll have fun
You can-
tearing that apart.
Oh, yeah. No, Ken Hovind doesn't even bother me. It's I would actually I'd be interested to have a conversation with him at some point because it's I used to teach his shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's number
What
8.
was the question you asked us, Jay?
I was going to say, so Jen, what do you got coming up?
Later today, this evening, for people in the US, I was going to say UK, but this evening for people in the US at 9 p.m., we've got the Tits Out stream, and following that, Claire.
Yes, mayhem. After that at 11, yeah, and then
So that's 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. tomorrow for those of us on the good side of the planet.
Monday, Jay's joining me for my legal updates,
Ooh.
and then it's like a whole hereticals week over on my channel because Tuesday I have Almost the Doctor on Am I the Asshole?
Look out.
Yeah, so it's going to be cool.
That is Matt's never the assholes though.
No, he's too nice.
Like, I'm not going to
nice.
be able to call him an asshole. It's not going to happen.
He's going to analyze the shit out of everything and come up with some insanely good answers for stuff.
Yeah.
And he's good. And then everybody in the chat's going to be throwing themselves at him. But I'm making my best.
He is
right
adorable.
here. He is absolutely
cute,
adorable. I can't call him an asshole, and I'm not going to be able to disagree with him about a damn thing. It's going to be like, I don't know. I don't know. He's just gonna. He might have my channel by the end of the episode. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Well,
Chris, what we got coming up?
Yeah, we got all the fun stuff happening. We've got Cults and Conspiracies coming up on Wednesday night for me, Wednesday morning in the US, which is going to be part 3 of Nexium. And
Yeah,
I think
it's
you guys
all
were
about
saying
the
it's
money
gonna be
this
like
week.
it's going to be like a 5 or 6 part of that one. That's which I reckon that's amazing. Like the deep dive that's happening.
Yeah, we've
there.
got, as of right now, we've got 5 more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
just for
wow.
Nexium.
And you've already done what, 3?
Oh, we've done 2.
You've done
Yeah.
2, so
We got-
7 all
We
up.
have the third one planned already.
Yeah, third one's going to be the Bronfman sisters and Kathy. I can never remember her last name.
Russ.
Kathy Russell. It's all about the money in this episode coming up.
Mhm.
It's all about the money.
Yep,
This
and
is
then
Good,
and then next week will be Allison Mack.
That's
the
going to
whole-
be.
Okay.
That's be
that whole episode will be dedicated to her. Next Friday, Chris won't be here, so I'll come up with something.
Yeah, so I'll be there. I'll be around for the pre-show, but I can't do the main event next week, so it's going to be a J show. So I'll apologise to everyone in advance for that.
Maybe we'll just do a whole
being able to
episode.
show up, that is.
Maybe we'll just do a whole episode of Media Funnies.
Yeah, whatever
That
works.
could be fun.
We almost did that once before. Like I couldn't even contain myself through the whole thing. I remember it was like, but Chris, you're getting a little bit of sympathy there in the chat. I want
unless Kent does the right thing and wax an
yeah.
atheist with us this week, and then we have to respond to him.
Yeah, we won't get Kent doing that. He's because we made too much sense.
We're not big enough anyway.
I will clear up that back in my Christian days, the church I went to was a young earth church. Well, at that time was a young earth church. I was part of the scripture team, and we used to go out and do scripture at high schools. And the guy that I went and did it with, he would always have a Kent Hovind DVD, and basically that's what we did. And we all hung out and watched Kent Hovind DVDs together. It was really like, I am so happy to be out of that shit.
Yes, they are.
Tell you.
When you were teaching it, Chris, did your brain actually think this young earth bit is probably bullshit?
Look, I always had an issue with it, and actually evolution is what kind of drew me out of the church, because what had happened was, as we were sitting in a Old Testament class, and I actually asked the question about, well, how does the Old Testament work with evolution? If we're looking at it from that sort of point of view, and they all sort of laughed at me, and I sort of realized at that point, these people actually aren't thinking; they're not actually learning anything.
Right.
And that started my journey.
Yeah, you couldn't even ask a question. That kind of tells you that the same thing with
tells
me.
you
As soon
everything.
as you ask a question, and they're like, no, just avoid it or make fun of you or just shame you. I mean,
yeah. Well, it was like genuine. Like I was kind of looked at as if I was this, are you stupid or something? Like, it's just, well, how does it work? How does how does Genesis work with the Old Testament? And ironically, I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't. So unfortunately, Genesis work in conjunction with evolution. It's realistically, for the Bible to be true, it would need to be a 6,000-year-old Earth model, because it's either true or it's not, and the evidence says it's not. So that's where we got to. But so we've got that. I'll probably have a video coming out at some point in the week, and I am actually working on, and I did mention this on the pre-show, a new channel, Hereticals History, which is just going to be where I'm doing history stuff, which is going to be fun. So I sort of thought, history is what I do, history is what I enjoy, and I'm actually got a few ideas, and that's probably going to be at some point over the next month. I'll get some stuff out on that. But you've got some stuff on True Serial coming up, do you, Jay?
Yeah, I just dropped
True Serial pretty hard on the pre-show too.
I just dropped. I've got 2 videos up now on True Serial. The first one was Richard Ramirez. The one I did that dropped last night was Ivan Milat.
Milat.
Whatever. Milat.
Now, actually, one thing I did ask in the pre-show was, okay, so the forest that he did is.
I so butchered that name through the whole.
What is it? Give it to us. Give it to us.
As I read it, as the more and more I read, the worse and worse that.
I mean, Deborah said, "Yeah, he went okay. He went okay." I'm like,
Davros had your back, Jay. He said
it's Belangolo.
Belangolo, yeah.
Yeah, and
Belangolo.
by the time I was done, I was calling it like Belungalo.
Bungalow would have worked.
Belungalo. Yeah. As I was listening, because I finished recording it at like 11:30 at night the night before, and I was doing all the video editing and stuff, and I'm listening to it yesterday going, oh God, I butchered the hell out of that thing.
Good fun.
But I'm thinking next week I'm actually going to dump into a true crime from my hometown, and I'm thinking I'm doing the Baby Kate story.
Okay.
Ooh, that sounds good, Jay.
Yeah, that one is like I said, it's from my hometown. It's hard to describe. You'll have to watch it to get the full aspect. But basically, roughly, guy made his daughter disappear. whether or not there's thoughts that most thought is that she's dead and buried somewhere, but he won't tell anybody where. But there's other thoughts that because of a letter that he sent that actually is with a German family over in Germany. And the mom, oddly enough, was actually talked to on the Dr. Phil show. Dr. Phil actually had the mom on at one point. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and like Raven said, the mother was in on it. She absolutely had to be in on it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. It's
Allegedly, we're not making any claims.
Allegedly, right?
No, I'm straight up calling it.
He does that. We would go over the legal docs. He does that too. There.
Yeah.
We call it. We're like allegedly, but nope, they did it. They definitely did it.
No, they did it.
They did it.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge, and I'm not on a jury, so I can go. Yep, they did it.
That's it, right? We don't have to, Jay. We're just reading it. Like we don't have to. Yeah.
So so if you guys haven't checked that out, check out True Serial. It's true crime podcast in podcast format. Heavy on serial killers. But yeah. So like I said, the first two are up and working on more. Thank you to Chris and Raven for pushing me into that, and for Claire for re-sparking that old the old love of it. So three of them. So
you've been inspiring me too, because just working with you even on my legal updates, it makes it so much more fun. It's nice to have somebody to talk hours about this stuff with.
And we have.
We have, because nobody wants to listen to us. We have to start YouTube channels.
But yeah, that's what I've got coming up.
Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, looking forward to the Hereticals history, and so
that should be
see
fun.
what you got going on there. So,
all right. Well, on that note, I'm going to call it. Everyone, wherever you are on this beautiful planet, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and just remember to be Jay's water friends.
Yes, Jay's water friends. We're all
Be
Jay's
water, my friend.
friends.
Bye, everyone.